Alright everyone, what is going on and welcome back to today's video, and just not going to say anything really extra, we're just going to talk about the video today. So today's video is going to be a collective video, just going over what people think and what I think about MNK on consoles. So this is a problem, you can call it that if you want, but it's been a thing with Siege for a while now, that a lot of people have different mixed opinions on it. Obviously the people that actually use the mouse and keyboards, the Zims, etc., probably don't give a shit about what we think, and that's the point. You get a Zim to keep up with what's going on in this game, and then majority of the time you'll find that most people anywhere above Plat 2 will collectively agree that a lot of above Plat 2 is Zim. So that's really, like, there are legitimate people still, but from what I've heard, from what I've been asking people, I did an Instagram poll, I did a YouTube poll, which we can get into in a second. We're just going to go over like collective opinions about what people think about this within the community, and what I think about this. So this is just going to be like kind of just a overview, informative video, I suppose, where we're just going to talk about the plague of console, if that's what you want to call it. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. So we're going to start off with my community posts. Now, if you didn't know already, if you are a subscriber on the channel, I've been doing a lot of these, just asking random questions to people, and this is the one we have right here. We have, what's y'all opinion about mouse and keyboard on console? So in the most percentage, 60% of people have agreed that it is cheating, and that is, I feel like that is the correct answer. Although, like, I feel like the people who are saying just annoying to Verst doesn't bother me. They are speaking truthfully from themselves, but they do know that it is cheating, I think, or they personally use a Zim and they're just trying to back up their personal opinions. I really don't know, but majority of this vote, as you can see, is 60% is for cheating, but there's still 40% put into these three categories, where I feel like the just annoying to verse category is people who play in the plat level, the diamond level, and they're used to versing mouse and keyboards now, and they've adapted to it, and they just find it annoying to verse, but obviously they can do it. That doesn't bother me probably fits into that same category as well, I feel like, and they're just putting out the best of what they can do. So, and then Get a Zim Nerds is either just trolls or an actual Zim player flexing the shit out of us. And yeah, so just to sum up this poll, 476 votes, 60% cheating. I'm not very good at math, so let me just quickly look up. We got 285 people here saying, sorry for looking that up, but we got 285 people here saying that is cheating out of 476. So that's still a fair percentage of people that obviously are still saying it's not cheating. And either whether you voted for a troll in this poll or something, I don't know. Let's quickly dive into the comments and to see what opinions are. This video is essentially just going to be wrapping up people's comments and what I think about it. Obviously, I think it's cheating. As I said, if you read the title, The Plague of Console, that's what I think of it. But yeah. So I had an MNK DDoS piece of shit. We lost 42 MMR, I'm guessing he had 16 kills. It was basically a 3v5. I feel like that's majority of the situations you will find yourself in MNK. If the MNK is actually good, and they're not like hard stuck silver with the MNK, because they're probably still learning or something, majority of the time, if you have a Zim on console, you should be in the higher ranks, I feel like, if you're half decent with it. And if you're not, then I don't really know what to say. But 16 kills, 3v5, that is essentially how it works. We have Mr. Zombie Stitch here saying, honestly, the thing is, I don't need to highlight it, on MNK, on Siege, I'm in a good spot for it because I've got good enough to aim to win a lot of gunfights. So when it is someone with MNK and gold lobbies, they haven't got game sense and are easy to beat once they gather and get higher in their plat. So it isn't a big problem. What do I think of that one? So this guy's essentially saying that when you get into these gunfights, when you get into these aim, people who are stuck in gold lobbies haven't got the game sense developed yet, and they just got a Zim to try and get good, and then that's where they fall behind. These are Zim players that we can deal with. I'm talking about generally when people are talking about why Zim's such a problem, we're talking about the champions and stuff like that. People just dominating the higher rank lobbies, etc. And I think this guy does understand the point, but he's just adapted to it, which is what I've said before. A lot of console players who do use controllers, such as myself, have just adapted to it. It doesn't bother me anymore. I still do agree it's cheating, but I would vote cheating in this poll if I were allowed to, but I'm not. But doesn't bother me definitely is a category for me as well. I'd say all of them are categories, honestly. But it is 100% cheating still. It's just, as a console player, I think majority of us in like maybe, I'd say gold and above is probably where it starts plaguing the most, have had to deal with this consistent problem, and we're just used to it at this point. So I don't know. And I can deal with it on COD, other similar games, if they have cross-platform on, but I shouldn't have to face a mouse and keyboard players on console either. I feel like it is dependent on the game. That is very true. Call of Duty, I feel like you can easily take mouse and keyboard players on a controller. I do it. I play cross-platform 100% of the time on Call of Duty, just for easier lobbies. I feel like controller is the dominant thing on Call of Duty. You'll find most pros use a controller. I think it's just easier to use. But in a game like Siege, which is what we're talking to at the current, what we're talking about at the current point, Siege, it is incredibly advantageous. I think that's a good word to use, and it's incredibly difficult to counter it as a Siege player, because the mechanics of the game and everything about it just makes keyboard 100% of a improvement over a controller, and that's why most of the pros in Siege play on PC. So it really is just dependent on the game if you look at it that way. Like, no one's going to give a shit if you're playing against someone on Minecraft with a controller while they're using a mouse and keyboard. But in competitive games like Siege, where you literally have to buy a Zim Apex to mask your controller just to use a mouse and keyboard, it is evidently cheating. Alright, so that's basically all the comments. This guy's just reiterating the fact about Minecraft playing survival, and Arzonis is just telling the people who voted get a good Zim nerds to get a good PC nerds. I agree with that one. But so now we're gonna go dive into Instagram. I'm probably gonna chuck some gameplay in the background, and I'm just gonna, I don't know, I'm just gonna fucking talk about the Instagram comments in the background of that one as well. So let's get into that. Alright, so I'm gonna voice overlay this because I don't think my fucking camera can run a put the camera additionally recording over the gameplay while I do this. So I'm just gonna put the gameplay in the background and then voice over it. So, and then I'll put the Instagram pop-ups on the screen, obviously. So the first guy we have here, I'm not gonna put their names on Instagram because it's Instagram. It's a bit different to YouTube, but this guy said everyone uses it in this poll, obviously. Here, I'll chuck that up on the screen first. So this is a screenshot of the poll that I put on Instagram, which is, do y'all think MNK on console is cheating or fair? Just to see if I can capture a different type of answer. And again, 70% said cheating, 30% said fair. And so I reposted that with the results. Obviously, I said, can the 30% that said fair tell me why they think this is generally interested? If you're interested in checking out this Instagram as well, it's my V Extinction Instagram. The link's in the description down below. If you want to be part of these polls, just go check it out. But that said, this guy said everyone uses it and it's year 6. People should get over it, in my opinion. While he does have a valid point, I feel like it's not a problem that we really should have to worry about. I think that's the main thing that people don't like, is like, yes, it's year 6, but I don't even know how long Zimming's been around for, but it wasn't a thing for the whole of Siege, I don't think. I think it got discovered and then people started abusing it, but everyone uses it, it's year 6, people should get over it, in my opinion. It's a valid point of view, but I still feel like it's not something we should really have to worry about in year 6. Like, they've had as he's just said, it's year 6, they've had 6 years to try and capture a way to defeat this problem, and I know it is very difficult, but I don't think it's really been like, it's been like partially addressed, and that's really it. And I feel like there's definitely more to it that there could be done, but I feel like it's just not really necessary for their game, because obviously it's still getting them players, stuff like that. I don't know what Siege's perspective is on it. I really don't know. But the second guy we gonna have is so fucking, we have it from this guy. Here we go. So, didn't vote on it, but so many are on it. It is so common you have to get over it as a control player. I obviously respond with valid point, because that is a valid point. We've already talked about this already. It is incredibly common as a higher ranked player. I wouldn't say I'm a higher ranked player, honestly, but I'm sure people are superior to me probably are on Zims anyway, but the controller players that are superior to me will agree that it is incredibly common you have to get over it as a control player. It's at the point where 3/4 of P2 and above are MNK. I just said facts because I think it's facts, but I'm probably wrong. I really don't know what the percentages are. I don't know how consistent it really is, but we all know that there is a lot of MNKs on console, and unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it, obviously. So the next one we have here is, he said, yes, I said it's fair because it's not that hard to beat them. So I said, fair enough, you adjust over time. This is a true statement. You do adjust over time. You'll eventually get used to it. I feel like that is a very truthful statement. It's not that hard to beat them if you've been playing against them for a long time. And you kind of, when it comes to MNK, they're obviously going to outplay with you with probably gun skill, mechanics, etc. But if you can think smarter and work your game sense stronger around them, I feel like that's the best counter you can have to an MNK player and can deal with them quite easily. But that's just my opinion. I think it really just depends on the player, whether you're really going to struggle with it or you're gonna continue to push through and adapt to it and try and get better. So you think about it, it's the same perspective as, say, I'm not condoning this at all, but think about it, it's the same perspective as basketball. You're gonna either play against the people who are at the same level as you, and or you're gonna play against the people that are better than you, and you're gonna improve greatly. Now, this statement can be considered into a controller statement. So obviously, if you're a platinum, you play against a champion, he's better than you. You still learn from him, you still develop from him, you still improve. But in terms of a Zim, it can be seen as the same way, and you will get used to it. But it's still a problem that really you shouldn't have to worry about the Zim side of that statement. You should only worry about the learning from your graders in the same aspect as you. Considering that controller is controller, you learn from other controller players. You shouldn't have to learn from adapting to someone on a completely different device, technically, to you. But that's just my opinion, and this whole video is opinionated, by the way. So try not to bring too much smoke in the comments. This video was kinda made just to informatively discuss and hopefully get discussion in the comments on what the general community thinks about mouse and keyboard on console. That is the main purpose of this video, and I'd say we're doing alright. So we'll go through a few more responses and probably wrap up the video. Alright, so I didn't really get too many swipe ups, I'm not gonna lie, but there's two here. There was this one here that is they are probably the people that use MNK. Probably the 30% that say it's fair. Not all of them are obviously going to use MNK, but I feel like that is a truthful statement. And then we have this one here, which is them 30% are fucked in the head. So yeah, it's just so fucking yeah. And then I responded to this guy, obviously saying so far responses have just been 90% of people are MNK, so get used to it, so it's fair. And yeah, most people will agree with that. A lot of people are MNK, you have to get used to it. But with that said, I think there's a Facebook group I was going to open up where there is a lot of toxicity in that shit, and that would really delve into deep use of actual Zim players' opinions. And I can do another video on this if you guys want, but I don't want to make the video too long because obviously it's just a discussion video. It's probably going to get boring just listening to the talking for a while. But if you guys do want another video on this, make sure to smash that like button. Let me know in the comments down below as well, and also make sure not to forget to hit that sub button and the notification bell if you're interested in checking that out. I upload every day Siege content here, and I'd love to see more of you guys. But with that said, that's about all I have to say about this problem. Again, the plague of console, the Zim, really it's just opinionated. I think that's what we've figured out throughout this video, and it really just depends on what you think as a personal player and what your skill level's at, whether you think what your opinions on it are, whether you dead set straightforward think it's cheating, you absolutely hate everyone who uses it, or you've learned to adapt to it and play against it, etc. It really just depends on the level of play you're at, I feel like, and the amount of times you've versed them and how much you've had to adapt. But I think that clears it up for now. Again, let me know if you want another video on this. I'm keen to keep talking about it, keep getting that discussion rolling. With that said, that's enough from me. Also, don't make sure to check out my Twitch, links in the description down below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.